obsession, addiction. These are words that often have a dirty association. Things that are bad, things that are negative. You know, we got things like this. Not gonna lie, I'm semi-addicted to these kinds of things. But I think a lot of these things, these words, these concepts, it all comes down to context. It all comes down to, I suppose, what it delivers for you. You know, when we talk about dirty words, when we talk about things, and you talk about obsession and addiction and these kinds of concepts in a modern society, most people will label you, like it will be a negative label, a negative attachment. But often those things lead to greatness. They lead to these things that we are all inspired by in this world. You look at Michael Jordan, you look at Kobe Bryant, you look at Steph Curry, you look at these guys. They were obsessed. They were obsessed and addicted to their craft. They're obsessed with winning. To the point where, you know, Jordan famously created stories, slights, things against him, so that he'd have a reason to get fired up. He was the only guy who could turn it on and off that way, that could really just ramp up that obsession and that fire and in that zone that way. And in that terminology, obsession is a bad word. Is a less of a bad word. Everyone looks at him and idolizes him. But he was obsessed. It came as a consequence. But this concept of balance and that everything should be in balance. And the perfect example I heard of this that always stuck with me was a scale balanced at 0. Well, balanced is 0. You get nothing. You need to swing in the extremes, but you need to learn how to control when you come back to things. You need to come back to the right components so you can be obsessed and all in and all on business, your health, fitness, making money, your family, all these kinds of things, as long as you swing back and forth between them. And yes, I have had the word obsession used about me a lot. One day I hope I could be in the same category as Michael Jordan, but who fucking knows? I am most certainly not at this stage in my life. But I am an obsessive person. I have an addictive personality. It is one of those things that I've often spoken about, is that I am grateful for what I've managed to channel my addictions into. Because utilized on the wrong thing, and we wouldn't be here having this discussion today. We wouldn't be talking about things, about getting better, about doing better in our lives. No. There's a good possibility I'd be dead under a bridge somewhere. Because I am that addictive. Thankfully, that addiction has never turned to alcohol or drugs. For what reason, I don't know. Potentially because of my ADHD brain, and that drugs don't affect me in the same way they do normal people, because I've certainly dabbled in them. I've certainly been down that road. But overall, they don't affect me in the same way that they do normal people. But I've channeled these addictions into positive things. For a lot of my life, I was addicted to basketball. It was all I would think about. It's all I focused on. It's all I did. Every single day, my whole life was dedicated to basketball. And then that transitioned to fitness. And that became my whole world and my whole life. And as you can see, to this day, is still an incredibly large part of my life. It has been dabbled into areas that I'm not proud of and that I still battle against. TV, social media, these kinds of things, junk food. Things that aren't of benefit to me. Things that are distractions. And people, this is the part that annoys me on this one. And this is a conversation I've had a few times, and people are like, you shouldn't be so harsh on yourself. Why? Why shouldn't I be so harsh on myself? We know that they are negative things. We know that they serve no benefit, no upside, no... They don't even, give you downtime and rest and rejuvenation. There is no societal benefit or benefit to myself. There is no growth. There's nothing but a short dopamine spiking event. But because we all partake in it, that is considered a normal thing, an acceptable choice. It's the same with alcohol. It's the same with junk food. We know that it is horrendous for you. We know that it causes great problems. We know that we shouldn't partake in it. We know that it has negative side effects. That obesity is awful. That it is one of the leading causes, well, it's an associated cause, but it's still one of the leading causes of death. That it has constant and ongoing negative repercussions for living that choice. So does alcoholism, so does all this kind of stuff. But because it's legal, and because it's quote-unquote normal, we accept it as it, But me choosing fitness, me choosing health, me choosing not to drink, me choosing not to eat junk food, that is considered so weird. That causes me to get judged. That causes extreme judgment. You want to be judged for something in your life? Go out with people and choose not to drink. Choose not to eat junk food. Choose not to partake in those things. But me choosing to benefit my life and make a better choice will receive judgment. And we've spoken about this before, the crabs in the bucket scenario. It's because everybody wants you to be on the same level you are. They don't actually want you to supersede them. They don't actually want you to do better in your life than they are. So you get pulled back down. You get judged. You get that quiet whisper in the ear of, one won't hurt. But we know that it has negative side effects. But as long as it is societally dubbed as an acceptable choice, that addiction, that obsession is okay. As long as you then don't go too far and then you make people feel weird. So alcoholism is unacceptable. But, drinking every night's okay as long as you don't get absolutely shit-faced every night. And this is the line on things that I find fascinating. As I said, I'm addicted. I'm obsessed. I have these personality traits within me. And I choose to utilize them to benefit. As I just showed you in my Amazon deliveries. Fucking pumped for it. New books are here. New books. And I cannot tell you how much I love to read. How much knowledge I consume. And consume is probably the right term, often to the detriment. Because I get obsessive. I get compulsive. I find something I like and I will just devour every inch of it. Wow, that taken out of context is going to get me viral. That's going to be... That's a great out of context fucking clip right there. Anyway, but it's true. I love to consume knowledge. And I always find it this weird one, and it comes back to this passion and what you were called for will override everything else. So to give you some backstory, I couldn't read. I didn't learn to read when I was in school in the same way normal kids did. There's an article, a newspaper clipping that my mum still has of me in the special reading program that they put in at the school that I was at to help me learn to read. And it wasn't because I wasn't intelligent. It was due to circumstances and freak incidents. So I had what's called a stigma in my eye, which meant I couldn't see the board. Right? And my parents did the right things. They took me to an optometrist, and for whatever reason, this optometrist told me that I would just outgrow it. It's fine. Don't stress it. It's all good. But I didn't. So I couldn't see the board. So I missed all those foundational levels. And then I didn't tell anyone because I was told I was fine. So I didn't want to burden people, so I didn't tell anyone about it. So I couldn't read. Continue on. It took me ages to catch up. And to this day, if we're talking non-fiction, I still probably read at a low-level, high school level. Like, my skills for reading aren't great. However, as my dad likes to tell the story, if you flip the script onto things that I am passionate about, that changes the game. Fitness, health, medical textbooks, medical studies, all that kind of stuff. I fucking love that shit. I can read that all day. His favourite story is to tell when I went off to America to play college ball, that I took Grey's Anatomy with me because I decided I wanted to learn everything about the body. And so I'm there reading these medical textbooks because it fascinated me. I couldn't read a fucking junior fiction, but these made sense to me. Some things in your brain just click, and this was one of them for me. Health and fitness and business and these kinds of things just click in my brain. They override everything else. All my shortcomings, all that kind of stuff disappear in the face of my passion and my enjoyment. And it's why I say to you that you need a passion. You need something to drive you forward. You need something to become addicted to throw yourself fully into. And the why usually needs to be something bigger than yourself. For me, it's my family now. It's for my kids, it's for my wife, it's for those who I serve. Because I know that I was called for something greater. I was called to do something bigger than myself. I know that for a fact. You know, the universe has shown me time and time again by saving my life that I was called on this planet to do this. But you've got to find something that drives you, that you are passionate about, that lights you up. Because there's still going to be a lot of days where this shit sucks, where you don't want to deal with any of the stuff. And you just override it. Because the passion and the motivation and the joy from doing the work that you are doing is so much greater than the shit that comes with it. And that's why when we talk about becoming entrepreneurs and starting businesses and all this kind of stuff, which this is not what this is about, but we talk about that, cool bus, because there are days where you will need that skill. You will need that passion and that motivation to drastically override all of that stuff so that you can be the best version of yourself. So yeah, when we're talking about this, we do set goals for 126. We talk about where you're going to be in 126 days, who you are going to be, and what that's going to look like, and what you're going to build this out for. Because yeah, this is, at its simplest level, you know, if you were to break down the components and the tools, a fitness program. But it's so much more than that. It's why you have to find the passion. You have to find something that is going to excite you to lead your best life so that you can be the best father, the best husband, and the best man that you can be. So that you can go out there every single day and do the work in pursuit of something greater. Because there are going to be days where this ain't going to be easy. There are going to be days where you don't want to do this. So on those days, you're going to need something bigger than yourself to make sure you get it all done. So it's time to find what you're addicted to. It's time to figure out where that is and where that lies so that you can push yourself to your highest level. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a bit of a all over the place ramble, but you know, we got there in the end. We got to some nuggets, and if you found some nuggets of gold, if you found some wisdom, if you found something inspiring, please, standard platitudes, like, comment, share, subscribe. Please share it with other men or other fathers who need to hear this message, who need to be a part of this movement, because I'm trying to start a movement of fathers who are going to lead by example, who are going to be the best versions of themselves for their kids, for their wives, for all that they serve. So please help me spread the word. Now, if you're ready to dive in and do more, Join the Daily Greatness Mail. The link is in my bio, and I'll send you daily things on how you can improve your life and take those daily steps to chasing greatness. Lastly, if you are ready to burn the motherfucking boats, to go all in on yourself, to burn away the shit that does not serve you, to see who you truly are and who you can truly be as the best father, husband, and man, now is your moment. Send me a message. Let's dive all in and let's see who you can become. Until then.